Hey, Hardy is in the studio with us. Give heaven some hell, baby. So we'll take this thing all the way to number one, man. This will be your did
12th
I
number
jinx the
one.
man.
I
Jinx
said
that
this.
man.
He said would be. He said would be.
Is there a
12th
jinx?
number one?
Is there a,
Yeah, that's a thing.
Oh, I have jinxed myself for sure. But dude, it's also
What's the-
manifestation. Right?
What's the song that you wrote that you thought was going to be huge that didn't?
That was a single?
Yeah.
Hell right.
Oh, yeah, that didn't hit it.
Nope.
that was a
It just-
terrible
it-
song.
That's probably why I didn't go.
I was going to say talk you out of it.
Talk you out of it's another one.
That
Yeah,
was a big
I was
song, but it didn't.
I thought
quite.
Talk
honestly
You Out
pretty
of It
bummed
was a
about
jam.
I think Hell Right went to like 12 or 14, and Talk You Out of It was 7.
Well, see, they can't
Just
all
happens.
be
No, it
number one.
happens.
Yeah.
But they still pay good money, so it's probably okay.
But I will say
I-
the difference between 7 and 5 is like exponential.
Oh,
Because when you get to 5, it's like playing exponentially more than 7.
Oh, at like number 5.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
5
Oh,
to
wow.
1 usually generates the same amount of money, but 6 to 10 is way different than 5
I didn't
to
know
1.
that. So number 1 is basically the same as number 5 financially?
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
yeah.
And then it all just depends on how long it hangs around from 5 to 1.
And so and so then the songwriter would get royalties whenever that's played. So you get it for like years. You could
As long as it's played on the radio, you'll get some sort of money.
Okay.
A song like I always use this same example from Dean Dillon with The Chair. Like they played The Chair from the time it came out for 15 years. It was always playing on the radio. A
Yep.
song like
Dust on the Bottle.
Dust on the
Yeah.
Bottle, David Lee Murphy was the number one played song of the decade. Not the decade he released it in, 1996 or whatever, but the next decade, that was the most played song on the radio.
Yeah.
Because people just kept playing
How much
it
is that
forever.
worth?
Oh, millions.
Well, David
wrote
Lee
that
Murphy
million? One
wrote
song,
it by
million?
himself, and he
Oh.
owns all his publishing.
owns all
And
his
also
publishing.
back then, weren't the
Millions.
rules a little bit different, so they made more?
No,
or?
Well, they
For-
made more off the record sales in
Yeah.
general. Like if a songwriter had a cut on an album that did very well, but it wasn't a single, they could still make like 6 figures. And now it's like you might make like $2,000 or $3,000.
and that was
$42.
And that was when people were actively
Buying records.
buying
Right.
CDs and
Right.
records and
Yeah, but
cassettes.
the money is still good for songwriters for songs getting played on the
It's
radio.
the only way that songwriters make money now is to have a hit on the radio, on terrestrial radio.
So is that why we are seeing more songwriters become artists? Because they get double.
It's probably not why.
It's definitely why you see a lot of artists who want to write songs.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
you
yeah, that's definitely a part
Yeah.
of it. Because I mean, all the guys that are like huge don't really ever write their own songs, but they also don't have to. Like Aldine, Tim McGraw, Kenny, Luke Bryan didn't write a lot of his stuff. A lot of the really big acts don't write. They just take some of the best songs in town.
I remember there were some people who at one point, part of the thing was if you wanted them to record, and I'm not naming names, no way, not here.
Please name names.
No, I can't. But they would, that was
Jameson
part of the
Rogers.
deal. That was part of the deal that if they were so big that if you wanted them to sing your song, you had to give them songwriter.
Oh, Elvis did
I've
that.
heard of that.
Oh,
Elvis did that
too?
famously. Elvis,
I Will Always Love You?
Yeah,
Yep.
Colonel Tom went to
Yep.
Dolly and said, if you have to give us half the publishing. And she said, I can't do that. I've told myself I would never do that. And listen, that would have cost her in the 8 or 9 figures.
There would be no Dollywood now.
Oh, no, it wouldn't have been that much. But it would have cost her 8 figures worth of money. Okay, millions of dollars.
Right.
When Whitney eventually recorded that song, Dolly made
Bodyguard.
so much money off of that song, and
Yeah.
she owned it. She wrote it by herself, and she owned all
Owned
the
her
publishing.
So you're basically, if you write it by yourself and you own your own publishing, in theory, you're making about 4 times more money than someone that had a publishing deal and wrote it with 3 other people. 4 or 5 times more.
Yeah.
How do people like in pop songs, because they'll have 17 and
Oh my
18
gosh.
people
They split
credited.
it up, but it's in Nashville, 99% of the time it's split evenly because you assume that everybody comes in the room and they all contribute an even part, to make the song a song. And I believe in that. But in LA, the guy that programmed like the hi-hats gets 2.5%, but the guy that sang the melody gets 12%, and the guy that wrote the lyrics gets 12%.
That sounds
it's
way
all
smarter.
lopsided.
Yeah.
Because I could be in the room.
Oh, exactly. And
I could
know
be
Oh,
in the
there's
room
like hype guys in LA that are just like, that's awesome, and that's all they do, but their credit is like
Hey, man,
5% right.
I'll
and they
take my 5% for being the
Are
guy
you
standing in the
kidding me?
corner.
No,
going,
no doubt.
Oh man, yeah, use that. That's
Dude,
good.
there's
bruh.
like That's 420. I can say. There's a weed guy. The weed guy that's in the room
Listen,
will be like, "Yo, that's great," and passing the stuff around and
they
gets-
get credit?
Yeah,
in the room, man.
That's why there's a lot of
I've heard that, but it's true. It's 100% true.
I've never been in the room with the weed guy.
Okay.
But I've heard.
Never.
Who knew? I mean, who knew?
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, well, you're smarter than you look. I did not know all that.
The
All right.
you have
I'll
to
take
know
it.
the
Speaking of
business
songs
side.
that Hardy wrote, here is one.
Yeah, here it is. It's gives Heaven Some Hell. Hardy is with us in the studio. We're coming back with Hardy. Hardy's joining us in the studio. Obviously good to see Hardy. And I will tell you this: last time when Ernest was in, he came in and his Cadillac ran out of gas because he's an idiot. And
Is this true? Is this actually
It's
true?
like,
this
we
is
have
actually
video.
all true.
And then he and I went to the gas station to get
get
gas.
gas. All on
and,
the air.
then
We did it on the air.
Spilled gas everywhere because we were putting it too fast.
And it
into the
wasn't
little
just like a little bit of gas.
Oh,
it was
it's
like
so
they put
bad.
half a gallon of gas on the ground.
so
Oh my god.
Hazmat was called in.
So he
It's
still
crazy.
couldn't get it started. And it was the Cadillac from the
Yeah, no, I'm very
flower
familiar
shop.
with the car.
Yeah. You've been in that car. I smelled it.
No comment.
Okay. And so I couldn't get started. I said, well, who would you call? And so he's like, well, let me see. I'll call Hardy and see if he would pick me up. You never
You didn't answer
answered
the
his phone.
phone.
It went
It was
straight-
early in the morning.
Yeah,
the
I
dude's
mean, fair.
asleep.
What time was it?
I don't know. It
Probably
wasn't that
8,
early.
7 or 8,
It
somewhere
wasn't-
up
I
in
was
there.
probably asleep.
Okay.
I'm sorry. And I honestly, we have a weird relationship with contacting each other. Like I could probably texted him later and was like, "Yo, what up?" And he probably never wrote me back. That's just how we are, though. And then, but we'll see each other and be like, "Yo."
Yeah, right.
All good.
Well, I was just wondering, I didn't know if he ever called you back and so.
No, but I'm definitely gonna ask him about that now.
Yeah, go, hey, man, is your gauge not work? You don't know how this works yourself? What's the thing? So what's the next move for you, man? I know you're doing the Morgan Wallen tour and all that stuff. What's like the next year to look for Hardy?
Well, I'm putting music out this year. Really, really excited about it. Some of it's gonna be very different. Just trying to keep pushing the envelope a
What
little bit.
does
By
that
different,
mean?
what do you mean? Like sold out different? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Explain that. 'cause
All
some
on the
people don't
same
know.
album?
Allegedly.
Okay.
Can't talk too much about it yet,
Okay.
but yes, I mean, like this next record will have some sold out ish stuff on
Sold
there.
Out is a song. If you don't know, it's kind of like
Right.
a rock song.
First time I heard that, I was like, "This is so crazy awesome." I mean, and I hate because a lot of people always say the Kid Rock comparison and all that because it is kind of that same genre, but it's so good.
So I like
Thank
that.
you, man.
It is so
Yeah.
good.
I like that. But I also like Waylon. I also like,
Obviously, he does too.
Big D is a huge fan of the Judds.
Mm.
You wouldn't
love
think
the
it.
Judds.
That's his favorite.
Wow.
So,
James Taylor's my favorite.
Yes.
Okay.
But the
I mean,
Judds,
That's all across the board, man.
Yeah.
I respect it.
I
Sounds
think-
the same.
I like
think everyone's
disco.
that way. I like some disco. But I don't like
Teddy
staying alive.
Pendergrass, man.
Was ABBA disco?
Yeah.
Kind of. Winner Takes All was a jam.
I don't know. I need to go listen to more. I don't know any. I know Staying Alive. That's probably it.
Yeah, just go to the Bee Gees and you're fine.
Yeah.
Staying alive is
That's
the
about
Bee
all
Gees,
you
not
need.
ABBA.
No, I know.
Oh, okay.
But that's the only like disco song I know. I just was curious.
You know,
for some
Dancing
reason if
Queen,
ABBA
ABBA.
was.
That's disco, right? That counts?
Okay, yeah, I know that song. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Is it true that ABBA didn't speak any English, but they learned all of their songs in English?
Yeah.
That's
Is that
pretty
really
wild.
true?
I
That's
don't
true.
know.
I heard that.
That's 100% true.
They don't speak English at all. They're Swedish,
He
right?
doesn't
no
know.
idea.
Have you seen
I
Mamma
have
Mia?
no
don't
idea,
believe
man.
anything that Big D says.
I'm just a
and
guy.
says that's totally true.
I'm just the guy in the room if we're writing a hit song. Just going, I love it.
He gets his
This is
20%.
great.
Yeah, hype guy.
I'm
Weed
hype
guy over here. Weed guy.
Yeah, let's go. Hey, we had who was a comedian that came in? The Sean is on. Who was that?
Oh, that was one of the Wayans brothers. I don't know.
Sean Wayans.
Sean
Sean
Wayans,
Wayans,
yeah,
yeah,
of
yeah.
course. And so he comes in and we're doing this interview with him, and we do a break and we were taping it and we're like kind of taking it, coming back to do the next segment or whatever. And this guy was in the studio. He came in with like 5 people, and this one guy, he was like this tall. I remember that he was real little, like 5 feet tall, and he never talked at all. And the entire time he was in the room, not one time, not even saying hi. I was just like, and we're getting ready to go on. And out of nowhere, this little guy goes, Sean is on, and points at him, and then Sean gets over there and pulls the microphone. And I went,
Like he had a guy who followed him around to tell him when he was about to be.
it
when he
threw
needed
me
to be
off so
on.
much. I stopped on the end. I go, what did you just do? Like, I go, is that what you do? And then Sean now is like, he sees how it's ludicrous. It's just dumb. Like,
Yeah.
he's paying that guy.
Yeah.
And he goes,
To
he's
tell him what
to
you
do
just
that,
said.
right? To do
That
what
makes-
any normal person would know to do.
That what would you call that guy?
A waste.
Yeah.
That's a waste.
Fair enough.
That is something that your accountant goes, hey man, we need to talk about this guy.
We have this one line item we should probably cut.
At the very bottom. Dude, it's good to see you again, man.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
I'm excited about the new music.
I
I
am
can't
too.
wait to see what you're doing. Whether it's on 1 album, 2 albums, 5 albums, I don't care. I'm stoked.
Is it,
Dude,
is it
I'm-
polka?
Say it again.
Polka?
Polka, yeah. It's the last 3 songs are country polka.
Dude,
It's gonna be hot.
straight up. That'd be flame for sure. I said that'd be flame.
Flame. Dang, D.
I'm so cool.
Wow.
I'm sorry you had to hear that, Hardy.
Yeah.
All right. Make sure you follow him online, hardyofficial.com. Also on all the social medias at Hardy Music. See you, brother.
Thank you guys.
Hey, if you like that video, go ahead and subscribe and like and hit the bell and do all the stuff.